We on?
Hey, man, you live.
We live?
Cut that Whitney Houston greatest hits
Listen,
shit
we were
off,
talking
man.
about that. Whitney Houston, what did she do, Q?
She smoked her kneecaps off. She's the greatest crack cocaine smoker ever.
Jesus Christ. You got to be shitting. So this is going to be fun today. Maybe we'll have a special guest. Maybe not. We'll try to figure out the Skype bullshit. But here we go. We're going to dive right in. I'm going to start with the Walmart thing, Q. We'll start with Walmart.
Fucking Walmart.
Fucking Walmart. So we'll start with Walmart. And the reason we're going to start with Walmart is I'm going to make this quick and painless, for everybody. Is I think the Walmart thing is is pretty stupid, okay? And, Q, first, before everyone gets my jaded opinion, Q, where do you sit on the Walmart thing? And pull up the article, there it is.
Well, first of all, you're a hater because obviously, as you see, CNN says they are a champion of gun safety. Look at that. Look at that fucking title. Look at that headline. They're a champion of gun safety.
So where do you sit on it? You're a regular dude, just being a dude.
Regular dude. I got into it with somebody yesterday because I don't know if you heard, they already started the, and I knew that shit was coming. They started the fucking lawsuits on Walmart from El Paso. People are starting to fucking sue them. And I'm all with it. I'm all with it. Sue the fuck out of them because on one hand, you're going to say that this is a gun-free zone, right? You can't have guns, can't do this or whatever, but you don't fucking protect me. You ain't got no security, you got nothing so I can protect my family. So if I get fucking shot on your watch, I'm going to sue the fuck out of you, right? So that's the whole separate issue. But as far as this shit with their latest thing, it's a joke. It's a joke. Like, that's really going to save us now that you're going to stop selling handgun ammunition and certain caliber. And thanks, Walmart. Good fucking job. You're a champion. It's bullshit. It's political bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Here's a stat for you, John. You love stats?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking drunk drivers kill the living shit out of people. I don't see Walmart stop selling liquor, right? Liquor section's big as fuck. But you care about the people. It's fucking bullshit. You raise we could go down 100 ways with that right now. Here's where I'm at, okay? And I'm just trying to give people the link on IG so people can tune in. Here's where I'm at, guys, with the whole Walmart deal. I don't really care that Walmart stopped selling ammo. I don't think it's a sign of the times. I don't think it's revolutionary. I don't think it changes anything. And I'm going to keep the Walmart segment short because here's the thing. First of all, if you were shopping at Walmart for your ammo, I mean, you're an idiot, okay? Most people who buy ammo in Walmart are people who are running late, running behind, ran in there for something. That should have never been a big part of your game. And the reason I say that is simple. You should be buying your ammo at a gun store or a firearm shop you support. And I support the little guy out there, the family-run store or whatever. That's first and foremost. Secondly, I don't think any of us, really we're not going to Walmart and buying cases of ammo. I mean, that was never in the cards. Have you ever, Q? Fuck no.
No.
But surprisingly, I didn't know this shit. I don't know if you do or knew. They're like fucking 18, as high as 18% of ammunition sales.
Oh, yeah, because they're huge.
Yeah.
They're huge. But that's not going to stop people.
Yeah.
That 18% will go to regular gun shops. I mean, that's not, it's 18% because it's Walmart, right? So if you sell sneakers and you sell them in Walmart, it's probably right away going to grab 20% of the market share. Because people are going there anyway for everything else.
Yeah, just volume. But you're right, though. All that shit now will go back to the mom and pop.
Yeah, it'll go back to the
mom.
mom and pop stores where it deserves to go. So, I know the NRA wrote a piece on it. I'm sure we'll have a piece when Dave's back or somebody will write something. But I'm saying my piece on it. I don't really care. I don't. I don't think Walmart's representative of the gun industry, and I don't think Walmart pops to mind as the first place I'm going to go to get my next firearm is going to be a Walmart. I don't think that's a thing. I think it's just more ease. Hey, honey, you're getting milk and diapers and whatever for the kids. I'll be in the hunting. I mean, have you been in that hunting and fishing section in Walmart? It's pitiful.
It's a joke.
It's pitiful. Anybody who shops there is gross. So nobody's shopping there. I'm gonna fix my chair because it's like I'm sitting like 8 miles from the table. So let me adjust myself.
But you know, the even more funnier fucking thing is, you know, now they're coming out with they're gonna ban open carry and shit like that. And I don't know. Look at this from their website. Like this is like from their corporate website. You know, what happens to customers who choose to ignore your request and continue to legally open carry? Oh, we will have a very non-confrontational approach, and we will like handle them or contact law enforcement. It's like, yeah, dude, I can't, man. I can't.
I got thoughts. I'll leave it alone.
Good old soft target Walmart.
Yeah. So, you know, I just, you know, I don't want to dwell on it. I know you got a couple pieces there. I mean, let them do whatever it is they do. I mean, I'm not gonna dwell on. They own Kroger. Do they own Kroger too? They own Kroger. Is that a thing?
I think they're connected. They might own them. They own fucking them, and Amazon own everybody.
Yeah, definitely Captain Moneybags. I want to move on from Walmart though. I want to move on. You fixing my my deal? I want to move on from Walmart because I've said all I'm going to say about Walmart. It just kind of is what it is. They're going to flip-flop. They're going to do what's good for them. You know, the grass is always greener on the other side, and by that, the other political side. So Walmart's inadvertently choosing taking a political stance in something that I don't think they should. You know, that's just me.
I got a friend named Suresh that would call you a bitch, man. He said he told me that you're being too nice, man. Stop fucking. You know, you're on the fence, man.
He'll be in later.
What the fuck?
We'll talk about him later. But I'm going to leave the Walmart thing alone. I want to get to more pressing things. Let's go to San Francisco. So San Francisco comes out and declares the NRA a terrorist organization. Can we pull that up, Q? Let's let that sink into everybody really fast. They declared San Francisco labels NRA a domestic terrorism organization. I'm going to let that sit.
Howdy doody.
So scroll down a little. This is just a piece that lays it all out. They basically made a declaration. I mean, there's no teeth in this. There's no teeth. Just so everybody knows, they just basically making a declaration. You know, this is the same city or town. San Francisco is a city that said, you know, if you're born a male, you can call yourself a female, right? And not to get all Ben Shapiro on you.
It's a fluid situation.
It's just one of those things, you know. Do I put any stock in it? Do I put any weight in it and anything they're doing? No. I'm organizing these things I'm going to talk about today in terms of how passionate I am about them. So I'm mildly passionate about this. Despite what you think about the NRA, the National Rifle Association. The National Rifle Association is the lobbying body that we have that we're dealt. I want to not talk about the National Rifle Association, but talk about who they represent. They represent some of the best and brightest people out there. They represent some of the great, good old folks that we all know and love. Despite where you sit on the political aisles, many of your NRA members, they're great folks. They're great folks. They would defend you, your property, your family, as vigilantly as a law enforcement officer would, in my humble opinion. I've met them. I've spent enough time with them. That doesn't make them bad people, terrorist people. But I'll say this to San Francisco. The moment one of your transgender citizens gets into trouble or is threatened to be beat up or some idiot comes at them, what's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to call somebody with a gun or where somebody with a gun was there to defend them. Because the next time one of them is outside one of their clubs or one of their bars or whatever they go, whatever they do, one of their bathrooms, whatever it is, and there's somebody waiting to attack them, the first thing they're going to wish is somebody would be there to defend them. Okay? And the NRA is a great community. Realize what I said there? Community of people that would defend you to the nth degree. The NRA community, and I keep saying community, are some of your most passionate citizens who not only respect the First Amendment, they respect obviously the Second, but they respect your rights. And they respect your ability to basically conduct day-to-day business without being bullied or persecuted or put down. So San Francisco, you better really think twice about this, because this is one of those instances where you're going to get the NRA to go and all of its members to go, okay. Because if I was there and I happen to just be there hanging out in the town and I maybe witnessed a crime or saw someone, I mean, it's hard to say. If I was an NRA member, I'd think twice about helping somebody now in that town. Wouldn't you, Q?
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is, I'm gonna pull up another article here. You know, shit's bad when your main fucking allies are turning on you. Now, it doesn't get more liberal or left leaning than the Washington Post, right? I just got this article from a buddy of mine. The fucking Washington Post came out with the article. You know, you see the title, No, San Francisco, the NRA is not a domestic terrorist organization. And it's actually a really good article, and it just eviscerates them because it's a fucking joke. Like, you know, they even say words matter. Like, a terrorist, that's a whole nother ball game. When somebody's a terrorist, these motherfuckers have never seen a terrorist. They don't know what a terrorist is. You just throwing that shit. I love when they just label people terrorists. Like, you motherfuckers have no clue what a terrorist is or living in a country where there are actual terrorists. Like, it kills me, you know, and to come out and be that loose with that and, you know, oh, this is a terrorist organization because they are backing people that want to be legal gun owners and protect themselves. So they are a terrorist organization. It's just ridiculous. So, like, when the Washington Post comes out and kills you, you pretty much know that you're an idiot. You know, that's your main ally. And they're like, hold on. Okay, now you're going too far. This is ridiculous.
You know, it's crazy because you're absolutely right. San Francisco is really an enigma. They don't have a great crime rate. I mean, they're not Chicago, but they don't have a great crime rate. They have
everybody can't aspire to be Chicago.
No, they're out of control. Their property crimes are through the roof. That I know, statistically, based on the population. They spend a fortune in law enforcement in San Francisco. Part of that is because of the culture that's there and the cultural. You know, they have to police every parade, every little thing that they do. It requires a lot of existential community policing, and it's just one of those things. I think San Francisco is just, you know, this is somebody's attempt there, and we haven't quite seen it rear its head, of grandstanding, putting the city on the map. I believe at one point, and I'm not 100% sure, and this isn't a violent crime per se, but it's an indication. I think it was like 2018. I was looking at a few crime statistics before we started this. San Francisco ranked #1 in property crime for major cities, according to the FBI, based on its per capita population. So it's one of those things. 'Cause you look at these towns, Chicago, San Francisco, all these different areas. The more they start to drive out the protectors, right? The people that are the sheepdogs, if you will, the more they drive in the criminal element. I don't think you have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that San Francisco has a lot of drug problems. They've had to liberalize the drug game there. My guess is every drug would be legal there at this point, right? So obviously property crime is going to be through the roof. It's one of those things. It's just going to be what it's going to be. So I'm not going to dwell on San Francisco. I think it's stupid. I think it's foolish. I think it's dumb. The NRA is not a terrorist, a domestic terrorist organization. To even float that idea is moronic. Now, I want to get to something that I'm going to be very passionate about. And I'm going to be very clear in the words I choose. And I want to be very forthcoming. You know, I'm going to text Suresh now and see if he's around, but I'm going to start the topic. Suresh Madhaven from 221B Tactical.
All right, let me know what he says.
Yeah, I'll let you know what he says, if he's free or if he has a minute. He wanted to chime in. A bunch of people wanted to. I got a million messages about this, and I'm going to get into it. And for those of you that are wondering what the topic is, and for those of you that are on YouTube tuning in, we're going to get into the topic of the recent police officer that had her gun taken away. Q, do you have the clip? Is there a way to pull the clip while I'm ranting on this? We can see the clip maybe quick.
Yeah, give me
a second. So there is a clip posted. It's all over social media of a female cop who had her gun taken away. And there's a lot of speculation about that female officer. A lot of people came to me around the gun industry. And Q, this is going to end up being a clip to cut. This is not condemning of her work.
Where was that? What city was that, you know?
I believe it was in California.
No. I know the state. You know what city?
Not 100%. Could be San Francisco. Just female cop loses her gun. So it's all over. If you go on IG, if you go to 221B, I believe it's there. If you go, you know, there's snippets of it. So, you know, Q, mark down about 17 minutes, 18 minutes in here. This is the thing. I 100% support this officer and don't want to listen to Monday morning quarterbacks and people trying to appraise the situation and people trying to, you know, spit from the rough. I've heard speculation there was a bolo out for the person. I've heard, you know, it's all, I don't know. That it was an escapee from a mental hospital, a whole bunch of things. But you're going to see a clip of someone who disarms a female law enforcement officer. Fairly easily, it might be on police posts as well, fairly easily disarms her, and proceeds to fire what I believe is shots at her, multiple rounds. I'm not 100% sure of her training, of her level of training, but I can assure you, based on folks I've talked to and folks I've chatted with, she clearly does not have enough training. Now, there's a lot of chatter behind the scenes, and everybody on here knows I take training incredibly seriously. And I'm not going to Monday morning quarterback this, but I'm going to say this on the record. I wish that this female officer spent as much training as she did on her social media. I hope that this serves as a moment of caution.
Here's the clip coming up now.
So we're going to play the clip. This is the clip. And you see the guy beating her down.
Oh, shit. Oh, you see that? I didn't see that in the first clip. A round went off.
Yep.
When they were tussling. Then he fucking shot her.
And then the police get on scene. There it is. So she's taking a lot of shots there. Okay? And we wish her...
Look at the round go off, right?
Yep. We wish her a
there.
speedy recovery. It looks like the light was activated. And she begins to flee. Now, it's been brought to my attention, okay, and I wanted to address this because everybody knows how passionately I speak about training. And I'm not a guy who hides behind a fake Instagram name or some shit like that. I'm saying this as me, the person. It was brought to my attention that she may have been someone who had one of those I'm a female law enforcement officer type pages. Come follow me. And I'm attractive. Come follow me. Okay? I have no issue with people marketing themselves. In fact, everybody knows I support female and male marketeers, if you will. If you choose to market yourself and you choose to put yourself out there, great. But I'm going to be critical for a second of the departments and the people. This needs to be a wake-up call. It needs to be a very serious wake-up call. Okay? Apparently her main page has come down since then. Okay? She had a main page. Q, I don't know if you can pull it up.
I tried. It's blocked.
No, but I text you a snippet that showed that it was down. She's since put it down because people were ganging up on her.
Yeah.
There's been rumors flying around that she was heavily trained, she wasn't heavily trained, and I'm trying to get Suresh on to verify some of these rumors. But a lot of people are chatting about this behind the scenes. And a lot of people do try to Monday morning quarterback it. Well, I would have done this and I would have done that. And it's hard to tell from that clip, okay, because we can break that clip down 10 times. You know, she got overrun, she got overwhelmed, she got too close. There's a number of things we can do, and I'm not going to sit here and do that, okay? But it's one of those things. Q, you're a lay person in the equation. You have no formal training. What do you take away from that clip based on what we know? What's your take on it?
Well, the first thing I saw when I brought it up to you, which is something that a lot of people may not realize, because the first thing I said is, why is she out there by herself? You know, call me sexist, call me whatever the fuck you want to call me. A female is still a female. You know, why is she going up on a male suspect? Why is there not a two-person car? And you pretty much told me that don't happen anymore. You know, that's an issue. We don't have enough officers out there. And the second thing that stuck out to me is training. I mean, we talked about it from when Tony was here.
And I'll be the first to say, I'll be the first. Don't hold your thought. I'll be the first to say that law enforcement officers are tremendously undertrained. We all know that. I'll be the first to say that. But let me say this to you, Q. But I spend a lot of time, and I think you know this, okay, working on my craft, getting better at different things. I'm at jiu-jitsu 3-4 times a week. I'm constantly getting beat up. I'm constantly doing things. I'm constantly out at trainings. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly doing my best. I'm getting older now, and it gets harder, and it's more difficult. And I'm not Monday morning quarterbacking this. But if it's found, or if it's true, or if someone verifies that, like many of these officers out there, she's busy on her downtime spending it doing marketing. Could that time have been better spent training, drilling, working scenarios? That's all I'm asking. Is this a failure of the department? Is it a failure of the person? I ask you guys. Comment below. Pick it apart. Where do we draw the line? Because this is a growing trend, you guys. And I know you see it in social media. There's pages, there's people. Everybody wants to be a celebra cop or a celebra officer or a celebra this or a celebra that. And, I get it. I totally get it. Nobody gets it more than me. But I want you to go home at night first.
I mean, attack me, beat me up, but, fuck it, I don't care. I'm gonna say what I feel. I mean, you look at this goddamn picture here, right? Now, you took the time out on your off time to get all fucking dolled up, put the fake dirt on, look badass and all of this. That's a fucking class you could have been taking in how to disarm somebody. That's a class you could have been taking in how to protect yourself. That's a class you could have been taking, how to deal with a male suspect, et cetera, et cetera. Am I saying I want her to fucking die? Of course not. Like, but at the same time, this is kind of a slap in the face. Like, you can't be out there with this up, and then, you know, you're getting your ass kicked by a 100-pound crackhead, you know, just like that. Like, that's kind of laughable to me. It's ridiculous. And it speaks to a bigger problem. You know, Suresh was on, and we were talking about it, you know, a few weeks ago with the officer-involved shootings, and the list goes on and on. It's training. It's lack of training, you know. And, John, I'm gonna say it's personal responsibility. Yeah, it's on the department, and shit needs to get better. But at the end of the day, we're all adults. If I know I'm out there and I'm a single person in a cop car, dude, I'm training all the time because I want to go home every night. So fuck the department. I'm training myself. You still could get taken out, but goddamn.
Let's try calling Suresh on Skype first. If that doesn't work, he said we can call him on his phone. I want you to pull up the picture on your phone that I sent you that shows her old page taken down, because I'm going to get into that while you dial Suresh. So here's the deal. And if it doesn't work, cue the Skype. I'll dial him in, and we'll just do it bootleg. Here's the deal. She wants to market herself, wants to put herself out there, wants to build new avenues for herself. I am all for that, guys. I am 100% all for that. I can try dialing him in, Q. Does this other
yeah, it's saying he's not online.
Is this other microphone work? I can put the phone up to that mic and we can do it that way.
Yeah, bootleg, but
it'll be bootleg, but let's try it.
He's not answering his fucking Skype.
Because I want to get Suresh Madhaven from 221B Tactical on air. All right, I got you on live, so I'm going to set it up so you can listen, but you got to go somewhere where it's quiet.
Tell him I tried to hit him on his Skype.
We tried to hit you on Skype.
Yeah, it's not working. I don't know what's going on. It said my login's not working. It's like every time I try to log in, it says something happens.
The internet,
I got
man.
Quiet space here.
All right. So we pulled up the photo of, and out of respect, Suresh, just so you know where we're at in the podcast, we're not bringing up the female officer's name. We've brought up that it's alluded to that she may have been one of those celebra cops, Instagram females, whatever, and we've played the clip for the audience.
Okay.
I want to get your thoughts on what you think and how you feel about the whole situation. Q and I have given ours.
So, well, thank you for reaching out. This is something that I've been speaking to for quite some time, and I speak to it now from a place of experience. I'm saying experience, not from, I was never, on social media, on IG, putting on the costume, putting on the war paint, holding a gun, doing photo shoots, or, sitting there in my dong, doing anything like that. I was never that person. But what I was a cop for 13 years that thought I had good training through my agency. And it wasn't until I went to train with real people that I discovered that my level of training was not adequate. So what happened, and you were witness to some of that early training with me, and I knew I needed to step it up. So what did I do? I started stepping up the training. I started stepping up my time in the right places, on the right ranges, with the right people. And what happened? Subsequently, I got better. And I did not spend time on the social media platform looking like I knew what I was doing and putting on the costume, putting on the war paint, and looking the part. And I realized that doing that just gets likes and followers, but when it came to the job, it could end up getting me killed. So I knew I couldn't be that person. What we have today is a situation which is troubling, scary, is where we have this abundance of police officers who have dedicated so much of their time, their energy, and their efforts to playing a part, making an image, putting on a facade on social media where they're holding these guns, they're putting on the costume, they're putting on the war paint, and they're putting the posts up with their boobs popping out of their turtleneck. And I'm not just focused on the girls here. You know what I'm talking about. There's guys too. They're in the gym, they're flexing, they're drinking their protein shake, they're doing their this, they're doing their that, they're posing. You know, they got their sponsorships from whatever, you know, clothing companies or supplement companies, and they're, you know, if you rub this cream on your ass, and it's gonna make your, you know, your cellulite go away, all that stuff. But you know what? That's all garbage. And that's all garbage because they're not putting in the time. And you've seen it. You've seen some of these girls and some of these guys that have these big followings, and they have these huge. You're putting, you know, all this time into their photos and making funny videos and spoof videos and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, you've seen it, I've seen it. You put them on the range with a patrol rifle, and they don't know what to do.
And Suresh,
they don't know how to charge it. They don't know how to make it safe and clear. They don't know how to do anything.
We just showed.
It is troubling.
We just showed the clip again, and I said in the beginning, we're not here to Monday morning quarterback the situation. We're not here.
We're speaking about facts.
And the question, the question I have is, I think this is telling of the effects of not just social media, but the kind of hysteria or whatever that's around, you know, people, the attempt to be somebody, right? The attempt to you got this whole world in social media where you have people gaslighting other people, you have people doing this, doing that. There needs to be real conversations. Who's to blame? Is it the department? And I think the onus falls first on the department. First. Okay?
That's wrong. I disagree with you there.
I think the onus falls first. The reason I say that, though, and I'll let you have the biggest part of the word.
See, this fucking sucks because he can't hear me.
Well,
this fucking sucks.
Let me say this. The onus falls on the department first because I feel as if the department should have policies, procedures, and things in place that prevent the person, okay, from reaching a point like this where every down minute is spent doing something other than training or developing their trade craft or getting better at their trade craft. They should have more outlets and more resources for the law enforcement officer to take advantage of. But I say that, Suresh, let me say this. I say that just knowing where we've been and who we've trained with, that the department doesn't do enough. Does that mean, is it like a 50-50 split? No. That first might be only like 20%, okay? I think the department has to first put policies and stuff in place that say, look, if you're employed here, you have to do this, this, and this, and you have to do this level of training. We all know that they don't get trained enough. That's why I say I start first with the department, but I'll give you the bulk of the word.
Here's why I disagree with that. That, I feel like, is playing to where we are in society right now, where we don't put the blame and the onus and the responsibility where it's due.
A fucking
There's some
man.
crazy guy who's mentally ill, whose family knows he's mentally ill, who's been making crazy comments on social media and all this stuff, and has problems, and has been labeled as disturbed, has been labeled as troubled, has been labeled by his classmates as weird, somehow gets a hold of a gun and goes in and shoots a bunch of people. And everyone points the finger at the gun. And no one is saying, wait a second, hold on. Wait a second. Hold on, wait. It's almost mind-boggling. So in this situation, I can speak to this because I did it. My agency gave us training to a certain level. However, recognizing that level of training wasn't at the level that I wanted to be at, or what I needed to be at, or what I felt was sufficient to get me home alive. So what I did was on my own time, on my own accord, went out, spent my own time. As you know personally, I paid for my own plane ticket, I paid for my own hotel, I paid for my own food, I paid for my own ammo, and I flew around the country looking for people to train with, to get better, whether they were a Green Beret, whether they were a Navy SEAL, whether they were a former Marine. I sought out some of the best people. You introduced me to some of these people, and I said, I need to get better. I didn't sit there and say, well, my department only gives me this training, so I'll do the training they give me, and I'll just deal with it. No. You know, as a cop, your level of training that you are being given, and if your agency is not giving you that level of training, it's on you to go seek that training and that education and that knowledge. Now, there are people who present to their agency training opportunities. They will go to their lieutenant, they'll go to their captain, they'll go to their chief and say, hey, we should maybe do this, we should maybe try this, maybe we should do this. And you know what? Some agencies are progressive and they will incorporate it into their training. But most agencies will say, no, we can't do that, we don't have the time, we don't have the money, we don't have the funding, whatever, and so it's not done. And when that happens, well, then you go on your own. If you are serious about your career, you are serious about survival, you're serious about getting home alive at the end of the shift. If you don't have an agency that is providing you with that next level, high level training, and instead of you taking your time to go seek additional training, seek help so you can be better, and rather you're spending your time putting on a costume on social media, putting on paint, putting on, taking your photos in the gym and, trying to get followers and likes and do all this stuff. And you're saying, I'm going to rather do that. I'm going to rather look the part or be this character that, is standing in the field with a gun and a rifle with war paint on. But the fact of the matter is, if the war happened tomorrow, you'd be for the first one killed. Because you spent your time looking like you're a warrior rather than going and training and being a warrior. And that's the problem with our society today. It's more important to look like you are something rather than actually being something. It's more important to look like you are being something or that you are something and play the part and get those likes and get those followers, but it's less important to actually be that person, because you know what? Being that person doesn't get you likes, doesn't get you followers.
Well,
it doesn't give you that good feeling, because you know what I know. I went to these courses on my own dime, and I didn't go on vacation. I didn't spend the time to make funny spoof videos in uniform, out of uniform, for social media. I wasn't getting likes. I wasn't getting followers. No one knew who the hell I was. But you know what? I took my own money, spent my own time, and went to train with these people. And nobody knew about it. Nobody knew. And then when I was home, when people were going to football games, when people were going to barbecues, people were going to the beach, and people were sitting there posting, putting on a costume. Girls, guys, these guys were in the gym flexing with their shapes and all that, posting photos in the mirror, and all the girls were doing the same thing. I was there on the range training. And guess what happened? 1 year later, I was on a range, and I picked up a gun, and I ran through a drill, and everyone, yourself included, had their mouth open saying, holy shit. Someone's been working. Someone's been training. And you got that video. That's where Passenger 57 was born.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't happen by accident. You know this, John. That doesn't happen. That level of skill, that level of proficiency to fire a weapon, move with a weapon, that doesn't happen by accident. While everyone else was sitting there being busy, I was sitting there training. While everyone else was seeking followers and likes and building an Instagram page, I had 15 followers on Instagram. Nobody knew who I was. I had no likes and followers, but I was on the range getting better. I was meeting with people on the mat rolling, getting twisted into a knot by people half my size in a jiu-jitsu gym, trying to figure out how I can get better. And you know that's a very humbling experience. You know that. But you know what? People don't want to go through that. You know what they would rather do? Rather than go to a jiu-jitsu gym and say, hey, I'm a cop. And most of the time, they'll say, oh, you're a cop, I'll give you a discount. Or I might even give you free training. Right? And you go and say, I need to learn how to fight. I need to know how to roll. That's what I was doing. And I was getting twisted into a knot on the ground. I was like tapping out within like 3 seconds and figuring out why I was in pain and how I can learn this crap. And everyone else is sitting there with their boobs popping out of their turtleneck, posting photos, taking their selfies, taking their videos. And I'm saying to myself, these are cops? Are they training? Are they on the range? Are they on a mat? No, they're not concerned about it. You know what they're concerned about? Let me take this gym selfie. Let me get this, use my 10% code to, rub some cream on your ass and, lose your cellulite. Here, use this protein powder. Use my code. And here's my protein shake. And here's me flexing in the gym. Well, you know what? That's all great. But if you're not a cop, but if you're a cop and your job is survival, take care of others, take care of your squad mates. I did that for 13 years. For 13 years, I had 7, 8, 9, 10 guys around me that were going out on patrol, and they were depending on me, and we were all depending on each other to help keep each other alive. And it is undignified and disrespectful to not take that seriously. And I knew I worked with guys that didn't take it seriously. I knew I worked with guys that weren't on the range. I worked with guys who weren't training. They weren't on the mat. They weren't in the gym. I worked with those guys. And I knew they were not assets. They were liabilities. And if the you-know-what hit the fan, they were going to be a liability. They were not going to be an asset. And all these girls and all these guys that are on the job that you see posting their photos on Instagram for likes and followers, most of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but most of them are liabilities. They are not assets to their police department, to their coworkers, and to the people around them.
Now, this is obviously a topic that's going to maybe trigger some people. And like I said, nobody's here to Monday morning quarterback it. There's clips of that video that are missing. We acknowledge that. There's word that it might have been someone who escaped a mental institution. There's word that it might have been a bolo. It might have been a combination of things. We don't know 100% yet. And
what I do know is that there was some kind of mentally ill subject who was the subject that she was fighting with. She approached. There was I guess there was some sort of exchange. She deployed a expandable baton, and upon deploying that expandable baton, she realized that she was being overcome and started getting struck by that individual. As she was being struck by that individual and getting overcome, she drew her duty weapon, and she tried to draw her duty weapon, and obviously you see what happened in the video. So, and then once on the ground, he was able to get the weapon away from her. Thank God she's okay, because he had the ability to execute her while she was still on the ground.
Oh, of course.
And, And so that was scary. We're not even going to talk about how the backup officers pulled up, the one officer pulled up right next to him, and he could have been executed getting out of his patrol car. We're not even going to talk about that.
Well, I mean, I think it's safe to say that a lot of the tactics employed, she wouldn't have ended up in that position if she did. A lot of the tactics employed by all sides were probably an unmitigated disaster.
So we go back to the topic at hand. And now I see stuff floating out there that she isn't just some Instagram girl who posted photos wearing the costume, whatever. She is very well trained, a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Speculation.
I don't know if any of that's confirmed. I haven't gotten confirmation on any of that. But the fact remains that what happened was scary, was unacceptable, and it's something that you don't want to see happen. You never give up your weapon.
Yeah,
you never give up
Suresh,
your weapon.
I'll go on record and say this, and I'd like to think I can comment on it better than most. I've been around a lot of black belts, I mean, I can't say she is or she isn't a jiu-jitsu black belt. I will say this. I highly doubt it. And I like to think I know something about that. I dated one. You know, I know a thing or two about it. She would understand distance management a lot better. She would understand a lot of different things. You know, there's a number of factors. If that's the case, and she is, then I'm wrong. I've been wrong before, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah. Listen, John, I apologize. I got to get going. I got to hop into the meeting, but I think we should continue this conversation because
yeah, I'm going to continue it on. I look forward to your thoughts in the future and kind of going forward. Thank you for chiming in.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
For sure.
Take care, guys. Okay, bye.
Later. So there's Suresh Madhaven of 221B Tactical. Q, you wanted to make a point. I was trying to make it so Suresh could hear you by putting the muffs on the thing. I know you wanted to chime in and make a point. And then I want to give kind of my thoughts, my final thoughts on it.
No, I pretty much said everything I wanted to say. You know, me and you disagree on this one, John. I'm on side with Suresh, man. Like, at the end of the day, it's personal accountability. That's the reason this country is so fucked up right now, man. Everybody, and I'm not saying you did this, John, but you know, in general, everybody wants to find somebody else to blame when you need to be blaming the fucking person. That's a grown ass woman doing police work. At the end of the day, her main job, fuck everybody else, her main job should be taking her ass home at night. And if I know I'm out there and I'm dealing with crackheads and the worst of fucking society has to offer, I'm going to be getting every goddamn piece of training I got to get, whether the department mandates it and pays for it or whether I do it myself, like Suresh said. But I'm going to be as prepared as I can, and you still might catch a bullet to the head, right? But I'm going to do my best to try to prepare. And it's obvious. If you watch that video, it's obvious. Her training is sorely lacking. Well,
again, without Monday morning quarterbacking it, because I don't want to do that. You know, there's a number.
I'm doing it. Fuck it.
Yeah,
I know you and I, but I'm looking at that video.
I'm doing my best not to, because I'll say this. I've been taken out of context. People get taken out of context all the time. And I don't want to take that video out of context. That's a 15-second snippet. What I'd like to see or like to know is what the distance management was like, how he was able to close the distance, how she allowed that to happen. Suresh has mentioned a baton, da-da-da-da. If she had very high-level jiu-jitsu experience or high-level MMA experience, or what some people have commented and alluded to, and I know she took her main Instagram page down. That was like one of those glamour cop type pages. She would have understood those things at the black belt level, you guys. Those things are ingrained in your texture. And being in law enforcement, you would be so keen to that. Now, I don't know what was said. We don't know the dialogue. We don't know what transpired. We're missing, you know, probably 20 or 30 seconds of critical footage there that would give me a better understanding of the situation. And I'll be the first to say it's always easier to critique from afar. We all do that. But I'm going to say this. I'm glad she's okay. I'm glad she's recovering. I'm glad she'll be able to go home to her family. But I think this should open a can of worms to a number of things. If you work in this job and your job is to serve and protect and to be at the best you can be, and you're someone that's going to be relied upon, what if that guy got away? And I will Monday morning quarterback this. What if that man was able to take her weapon, flee into the community? He was in a cul-de-sac, right, Q? Flee into the community, kick in a door and murder a family. And that family then looked at the background of what went on and all this and saw that this particular officer was spending their Saturdays or their Friday nights or their Thursday nights or their Wednesdays, their off time. This is why I put some onus on the department too. Okay? or dived into their training and realized they only test on their weapon once every year or once every 2 years. They only take combatives training once a year. And that family was relying on that person to be trained enough, not necessarily to lose the subject, but to have their service weapon taken from them that easily. Now, if you choose to market yourself, I'm 100% in favor of that. I'm in favor of all people creating avenues for themselves. But understand that time is the most precious commodity. Where you spend it, how you spend it, what you do with your time can affect a lot of things. It's a trickle down. And you start to think, I'll just go do this photo shoot on my day off and I'll put, this on and I'll do that and I'll do this. And look, I get it. I wish that people would take a higher level of personal responsibility, because right now, since I've come down here, I'm just a dude, okay? Just a dude. But I'm taking some time to train, to get better at different things. I've taken blade courses. I've taken shooting courses. I've taken a shitload of jiu-jitsu. I've taken all kinds of stuff. Karate as a kid. Played sports, lifted weights, all those things. And I've said it before. The first line of defense is training yourself. Being able to run a mile. Being able to lift some weights. Being able to move your body. The second level is starting to actually be able to incorporate those things into techniques that you can use in the field. Whether that's to apprehend someone, submit someone, protect yourself, protect those you love. Thirdly, and I tried to explain this to a young buck last night, is you train for terminal scenarios where you might have to put somebody down to protect yourself or your family. These are all important things, okay? And they're responsibilities that come into play in life. As a man, you want to go out and you want to earn a paycheck and you want to be able to provide for your family, for your kids, for those you love. Put a roof over your head. You want to be able to protect. When you accept the responsibility of either being in law enforcement or being in that career path, that you're not just going to protect yourself, you're going to protect a lot of people around you in your community. And I think some of that is getting lost in translation with the selfishness of a few. And I think some of them are too busy with their own outside ventures that they'll sit in the cruiser and say, selfie time, this or that. It's great if you can do it. I have a lot of good friends that are able to pull it off, but they're also very highly trained, and have been in those situations and come out ahead multiple times. It's because they take their training as seriously as they take their photo shoots. So let me say that again. If you're going to go down that path of being a celebra cop or whatever it is, you better take your photo shoots and your training equally as serious. If you don't take your training as serious as your photo shoots, that situation where a gun gets taken from you, or a baton, or something else, and you get the ever-living piss beat out of you, or you're in a situation that you can't control, and you may not go home at night, you're going to rethink every single one of those photo shoots and every single one of those glamour shots like that. You're going to rethink them all. They're going to pass through your head immediately. And you're going to say, I wish I spent that time doing something that could have gotten me out of this situation instead of doing hair and makeup. Because the likes are not going to save you. The followers are not going to save you. The likes don't equal any money. They're not going to put money in your pocket. And what are you going to do? Are you going to say, hey, Mr. Attacker, Mr. Mental Patient, I have 2,000 likes on my last picture, though? As he puts a gun to your head and shoots you. Think about it. I know people are going to say, I don't fucking know and screw you and whatever the hell. Don't care. Don't care. I don't. The only reason I don't care is because someday I may have to call. I might need help. Somebody might be in my cul-de-sac with a hatchet. I need someone to help me. And you can bet your ass I want someone that spends every other day training, that's on top of their game. I hope they have 0 likes, but 1,000 hours training. It's a balance, people. It's a balance. And I'm in no way condemning people who choose to market themselves. But take your marketing as seriously as you take your training. Because anyone who knows me knows that I do. Anyone who spent time with me knows that I do. And I believe Suresh does. I believe Tony did during his career. I believe Ruben Alvarez does. I believe a whole host of people out there that I could name the names. Man, just name a few of my friends. Do. And I say this out of love for not just the profession, that I have friends and family that have participated in. Take it seriously. That's all I got, Q.
Signing out.